Hello, hello, everybody. Running a little bit late. Busy Sunday. How is everybody's Sunday going? And happy Halloween to everyone, by the way. I hope you are all enjoying yourselves and having an excellent weekend. And let's see, I'm just pulling up my chat right now. Not sure who all is there right now. But yeah, it's been a crazy busy month. I think a lot of us that have been doing Halloween stuff are exhausted by this point. Um, but I'm definitely glad to have been able to participate in another year of 31 days of Halloween. I added to that by doing the Vlogoween or Vlogtober. So definitely a handful. So I just thought I would do more of a quick check-in type stream, or just a quick chat with you guys. I haven't been around in a while, so just kind of doing a quick catch up here. But I definitely want to get back to a more regular video upload schedule. I'm not really too sure which kind of shows I want to do next. But of course, any suggestions anyone has is always welcome, or if there's any particular type of video that you would like to see me do, we can definitely see if we can try and get that done. But yeah, it's been a pretty fun October. I've enjoyed myself. Earlier this week, Mr. Rick and I took a walk in the park. Just very nice, just to get out, have a stretch, change up the scenery. We're always indoors nowadays, at least ourselves. I don't know if it's the same for everyone, but still practicing that social distancing, trying to stay safe. It is what it is. But yeah, I hope everyone is having an excellent day. I'm going to be honest, I didn't have time to prepare anything for this stream. I've been running back and forth all over all month, but I don't know if you guys had a chance to check out the Tales of Halloween collaboration that was up earlier today. If not, please stop by, check out the channels that were featured. They're all great people. Eric Thomas says, Happy Halloween. Happy Halloween. um, but yeah, definitely a lot of new stuff going on. I did not have a chance to prepare any Day of the Dead stuff, so I don't have anything. Unfortunately, for those two dates, I definitely love to celebrate those as well. But I don't know. Do you guys have any particular Halloween traditions? Mr. Rick and I, we usually watch on Devil's Night. We watch The Crow. I'm sure a lot of us do that. That's also usually when we carve our jack-o'-lantern, and that vlog will be up later in the week when I have a chance to edit that, so you can see this year's design. This would be Saucy Jack the Third. All of our pumpkins always have the same name, but I'll definitely try and get that done. Let's see. Later this evening, we're going to be watching, I believe, Snowtown Murders, Demon Night. We usually watch Mad Monster Party as well. But do any of you guys have any particular films that you like to watch, or any specific Halloween type traditions? I know not all of us have kiddos, or maybe some of us are empty nesters, but do you have any way of celebrating in your own way, or anything in particular that you do? That's pretty much all we do around here. We are in a very small space, so I would have loved it if we had the time and the space to put up Halloween decorations and definitely make the place a lot more Okay, can you hear me now? Oh gosh. So typical. This is one of the, no stream is without its issues. I understand that. Sorry about that. All right, sorry. And thank you for letting me know. I didn't realize that sound had been lost on that sound back. Good. Thank you. Thank you so much. And then, of course, we have Eric who said happy Halloween earlier. So, but happy Halloween to all of you. Yeah, I hadn't realized I lost sound there. Sorry. Hopefully, you guys were able to hear me just fine before then. Oh, Lordy. I haven't flown solo in a while, but yeah. How did you fix it? I think I nudged something accidentally and just muted my mic. Some of my controls here are just a little bit too sensitive. Sorry about that. Kubrick Lover says, hello. Hey, thanks for stopping by. Awesome, awesome. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, I usually see you, I think, in Ethel's chat. I forget where else I've run across you. I believe for Trash Picture Show. We've definitely bumped into each other a couple of times. And then, of course, we have DMC Campbell. Hey, Horror Retrospective. Hello. Let's see. Trying to see if I can do a screen share here really quick. Maybe not. Here we go. I think I got it. Ooh, I have not used the duck in a while. On my browser, it still shows 4 people waiting. Greetings, all just listening in on this one, working on a project. Awesome. No worries. Thanks for stopping by. Let's see, still shows 4 people waiting. I'm not sure what happened with the screen share. Maybe it's just one of those things that is not meant to be. No worries. See, False Proxy Sessions says, hey, can hear you. Happy Halloween, homies, and everybody in the chat. Scratch that. 4 people waiting now, it says. Hey, Proxy, how have you been doing? I'm sure you've been super busy. All of us have been really just busy, live for Halloween projects, what have you. And then, of course, scratch that. 4 people waiting in the chat now. 4 people waiting now, it says. 7 watching. Sorry, my pronunciation is a bit muddled when I talk a little bit too fast. But yeah, I hope you guys are all having a great day. We definitely have a few more films to watch. I believe right now Mr. Rick is watching Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I know I definitely went through a phase in my early 20s where I was just all about that film. Of course, myself being a Texas girl, it's always fun to have films that were made in your own state, at least in my opinion. And if I remember correctly, a lot of the actors in the film, people that worked on the on the film itself. They were UT students here in Austin as well, so always very fun, very cool. Let's see, I've got a light on for the kids, but now they are predicting some rain. Aw, darn. Yeah, not cool for the kiddos. I always enjoyed watching kids walk around in their costumes. To see like the different get-ups, some kids that create their own stuff, just very DIY. It's always fun to see what they come up with or what the family comes up with. Of course, nothing against store-bought costumes. I definitely grew up in a time where I feel costumes were maybe a little bit more on the scary side. Now they've kind of dialed it back a little more, but that's just my opinion. Proxy says, yes, busy as always. Well, thank you for taking the time and stopping by. Hopefully you get a chance to get some breathing room and have a rest, relax. We all work hard. We all deserve it. Let's see. DMC Campbell says, hope that Instagram issue got sorted. I did watch the films Hell Night with Linda Blair and Night of the Demons for the first time. They were great. I love Night of the Demons. Instagram seems to have chilled out, so that's good. Hopefully I can get back to projects soon over on that page. Hell Night was pretty good. What did you think of that one? I saw it for the first time some years back. I'm going to be honest, I have a harsh opinion on that one. Maybe I'll just keep it to myself. I know a lot of people really enjoy that one. And if it's one that you liked, I don't want to put a damper on it for you. But I did like the kind of like, it seemed to have some TCM or Texas Chainsaw Massacre aspect about it. The killer was in the house just kind of hunting people down. It was pretty good. Night of the Demons, I do like, especially that possessed dancing scene with Angela right as things really start to hit the fan. Everything was on the DL before then, just people getting snatched up and picked off. But Night of the Demons, I think, was really great. Kubrick says, you shouldn't be ashamed if you don't like a film. Not necessarily ashamed, but I know, especially if somebody really likes a movie, it kind of is a downer to hear somebody talking trash about something that you like. Also, like sometimes whenever I do collaboration reviews, I tend to hold films by a higher criteria when it comes to ratings, which is something I generally don't do. So sometimes I kind of get people like, oh man, why'd you give it such a low rating? Or why didn't you like it? But yeah, just trying to be on the safe side. Truth be told, I mean, I know, especially when there's a film that I'm really big into, it's not fun having somebody trash the movie but I will never say anything rude about someone else's opinion of a film. I mean, we're all entitled to what we think. But yeah, let's see, it looks like a fair amount of you came out for this, and thank you so much for stopping by. I really appreciate it. Especially, let's see, I'm on Central Time. It's 4:00 here, so probably middle of the day is probably one of the weirdest times to be on. People are busy. They're getting ready for work the next day. They're cleaning house. Mr. Rick and I were cleaning earlier. I still need to get back to some chores as soon as we're done with the stream. Let me see. I did think they had pacing issues, even though they were good. I did notice that. Yeah, Hell Night's a pretty good one. It does seem to have a large cult following. I don't. Maybe I just need to give the film another chance and rewatch it and see if maybe some of the things that I wasn't too crazy about, if that opinion changes. Let me see. We're never going to agree with everybody on film. Hope I'm not being a damper. Not at all. And that's true. A lot of us agree, disagree on all kinds of things. We all like different style of films, subgenres. Obviously, I'm very retro myself, hence my channel name. I lean more towards the older film, and I'm a little harsher on the newer films, even though I'm trying to vary my diet and get into the at least show some of the newer films on my channel, give some opinions, reviews. But yeah, definitely good to get different exposure. You don't know you like something until you try it out. Like for example, Malignant, Mr. Rick, and I watched that recently, and it was a very interesting movie, very crazy. Like it seemed to borrow from all of these different genres. That's perfectly fine. Yeah, yeah, we're all allowed to have our own opinions. I mean, that's what makes us all unique, especially if we're all part of the horror community, or whether we are viewers or we just uh, if you're a creator. But yeah, definitely, it's always good to have a different perspective. Um, but yeah, have any of you guys seen Malignant? I don't plan on doing any spoilers, but I really did think that it was an interesting one. It seemed to borrow like from all of these different genres. Like I picked up like a little bit of giallo, especially I want to say with like the premonitions. It kind of reminded me of Dario Argento's Deep Red. There was a psychic at the beginning of the film before she got murdered, but obviously she got killed because she knew who the killer was. Um, I believe there's another Italian film called Premonition, and it kind of also has that theme. But I like how the film plays with the viewer. I also got hints of Basket Case or The Dark Side, where you have this spoiler alert, where you have the parasitic twin. But I think overall that one was pretty good. I did enjoy it. Parts of it were a little bit muddled for me. Um, yeah, I liked Malignant and the throwback style. Yeah, that's I really liked that. It seemed to borrow from a lot of things, like especially when you're showing the villain and the hairs in the face. It's kind of like, did they borrow from Asian cinema? It kind of reminds me of Ringu, or like all of those vengeance ghost stories that you see a lot in J horror. Yeah, Malignant was interesting. I did love it, but I would watch it again. Yeah, I would definitely give it another go. It wasn't bad. I really did enjoy it for what it is, for what it was. I didn't think it was a bad film at all. Especially, I like it when filmmakers aren't afraid to be experimental, whether you're doing fanfare and just throwing a nod or a wink at other genres. It seemed to help it. I don't think it really bothered, but they did kind of lose me in some places. For example, when the mom character was introduced, and you kind of have like this time melding thing, like they're sharing space together. Like I'm not really sure how all of these paranormal abilities or psychic abilities played into the film. I just don't know. It's at the beginning they kind of tell us that they were running experiments on kids, and then obviously somebody winds up with a double child. um, but yeah, it was a pretty interesting one. I liked it for what it was. Let me see. I recently watched a couple of others. I did see Antlers, or I did watch Antlers. Have any of you guys seen that one? I definitely wanted a little bit more from the story. I didn't realize that Guillermo del Toro was attached to that project, so I'm glad I didn't know that going in, because I probably would have expected a little bit more, um, just because of his reputation. Like when he produced Pan's Labyrinth, for example, it's very whimsical, very fantasy, and I probably would have expected that same style. So I'm glad that it wasn't muddled, and that's honestly one of the main reasons I prefer to blind watch films. Whereas Antlers streaming, I had a pass. I'm part of an organization here in Austin. It's called the Austin Horror Society. So we were granted X amount of passes to go and watch the movie early. So that's how I managed to watch it. I don't know if it's available like through Vudu or anything yet, so I'm not too sure on that one. Um, Yeah, it's good to try different types of horror. I used to hate found footage horror, but over time started to like some of them, especially Grave Encounters and Exits, Bigfoot. I have not seen either of those films, but I will agree with you. I did not like found footage in the very beginning. And probably showing my age here, but the first found footage film I ever saw was Blair Witch, and I did not care for that style, but I like how over time it evolved and new elements were incorporated in it. For example, what was it called? The Den, I believe. I don't know if any of you guys have seen that one, where it's kind of like this Russian roulette site. So, yeah. Blair Witch, meh. I want to like it because it set up a lot of the groundwork for what found footage later evolved into. So I'll give it its props for that. But no, I wasn't crazy about Blair Witch, I'll be honest. Um, Sorry. No worries. But yeah, the Den was pretty interesting. I don't know if chat roulette sites are still a thing, but it incorporates elements from that. I believe you also get footage from people's like FaceTime cameras, things like that. The Bay, I believe, also does stuff like that. Those are two pretty interesting ones. But that for me was, I believe, 20 2011, 13, when I noticed these changes in found footage. So that's why I came around and I decided, you know what, I'll give this genre another chance, because I definitely see a lot more creativity coming in. It's not somebody behind a camera, it's less family movie. So I like those dynamics. I thought it was pretty good. Um, I think found footage seems to have died down, but I could be very wrong. I didn't originally like the Blair Witch, but I like it now. I have not revisited Blair Witch in a very long time. I'm not sure how I would feel about it, but even then, like, a lot of people didn't care for the film. It was definitely a new genre, even though people will argue that found footage had been done before. For example, Faces of Death. There are scenes where you've got newsreels mixed in with reenactments. Um, yeah, found footage really isn't all that new. We kind of forget the forerunners. I don't know, maybe if anybody's interested, I can probably do like a segment on the original or the older found footage films. But yeah, we have Night Watch in the chat. Happy Halloween, Kara and everybody. Hey, Night. Hope you're having a great day, and thank you for joining the Tales of Halloween collab. That was awesome. Thank you so much. And once again, if you guys haven't seen the Tales of Halloween collab, that's up on my channel. Everybody that participated is linked in the description box. So if anybody's channel interests you, always feel free to stop by and see what else they do. But yeah, I'm trying to think of what else I've seen recently. Totally went blank there. Sorry. What else have I seen recently? What was the last newer film that I had watched? I had seen, darn, I need to go through my notes really quick here. Sorry. Yeah, I don't really know why I'm harsher on newer films. It's just, I know film styles change over the years. Genres are approached a lot more differently. Is it just a me thing, or are you guys kind of a little bit harsh on newer films as well? Or I don't know, maybe you're just a little more open-minded. I'm definitely stuck in my 70s, 80s, 90s. Of course, I prefer the older films. That's just my thing. There we go. Halloween Kills. That was the one I had seen previously. I think some people would agree that they didn't care for it too much. It wasn't one of the stronger stories. It's kind of like they, in my opinion, it seemed like it was advertised as the final battle between Jamie Lee Curtis and Michael Myers, and all Jamie did was hang out in a hospital bed, and she shot her butt full of morphine, and she didn't do anything else. Everybody went on this lynch mob. they kind of push this poor man into committing suicide. I've done a review for this. I don't have to do it over again. But yeah, I saw a lot of holes in that film. The kills were good. Of course, if you're going to have a film title like Halloween Kills, you have to deliver. Um, but yeah, the only kill that I thought was really weird was maybe like the pseudo nurse slash doctor who was shooting at Michael Myers. Michael kicks the door and she shoots herself in the head. I thought that one was pretty funny, actually. Um, Let me see. Doesn't matter when the film comes out, it's how good it is. I agree with that. I'm definitely willing to give newer films a chance. I'm definitely interested in checking out Last Night in Soho, especially because it has like the 60s references, and of course I love retro things. I mean, even my specs are a little bit retro designed themselves. But yeah, it's just me. Like, I don't know. Maybe I just need to warm up to modern film. It's been a very long time since I've seen a new film, truth be told. I'm very much stuck within my time periods. Let me see. I still find the 70s films the creepiest: Carrie, Omen, Exorcist, TCM, Halloween, Black Christmas. Yeah, I love the 70s stuff. It's um truth be told, I kind of wished that I had grown up during that era rather than being a 90s kid. Nothing against the 90s. But yeah, I definitely love the 70s. The only one on your list I have not seen is Black Christmas. I've seen Christmas Evil. Um, TCM, I definitely lean a lot more towards because I'm a Texas girl myself. Exorcist is excellent. The first time I watched that, even though um, even though it was like in the 90s when I was watching this, I was a senior in high school by that time. But I actually, my parents had gone out for the evening, so I stayed home alone watching this film, and I had great atmosphere. It happened to be a rainy night, and the movie just scared the bejesus out of me. I regret having looked up how the special effects were done because it lost a little bit of its magic in doing that. But yeah, I give that film so much credit because it's one of the few that has scared me. I think it's really, really great. Carrie's good. It's just I feel so bad for that girl. Like it's also just kind of sad and depressing, especially if you know the backstory. I believe Stephen King spoke about it in his book on writing. He kind of gives more of a peek on the girl in his high school that Carrie had been based on. But I'll leave that open ended for you if you guys want to go back and check out that book. But yeah, 70s films took a lot of chances. I agree with that, especially because I think, in my opinion, that's also when slashers were really, really starting to pick up ground. And yeah, even I mentioned it in The Omen, that was, in my opinion, the first of the films that really incorporated those elaborate deaths. Like, if you thought Final Destination was elaborate and, the setup was really good for Final Destination deaths, but that was borrowed from The Omen. At least that's the way I see it. But yeah, 70s films took a lot of chances, just generally speaking. No, I agree with you. I totally do. Let me see. I think the accountants have too much power over things at the moment. They want to know their movie won't lose money rather than roll the dice. I agree. It's very bureaucratic. It's definitely about money and more about profits nowadays than anything else. Let me see. I've stepped over my time. The next show has already begun. That would be Trashed Picture Show. If you don't have the link, give me a quick moment and I will drop that in my chat. I didn't purposely step over anyone's showtime. But yeah, if you're following the channel hop, there is the link for the next show. And I'll wrap it up really quick. I don't want to step over anyone's showtime, especially if anybody wants to stop by and hang out with Trash Picture Show or Marty and the crew. So the link is right there in the chat for those of you that are following the channel hop. I have a few windows to close so I can get back to my screen. Let's see here. Yo, going live for the night, the Living Dead watch along. Yes, so Martin and the crew are watching Night of the Living Dead. Once again, I wasn't trying to step on anyone's toes. So, but yeah, the link is in the chat. You guys can have a stop by if you want to continue with the conga line. But yeah, thank you to everybody for stopping by. I know it was just a super quick, casual live stream. But thank you so much for stopping by. I really appreciate it. Hopefully we can do this again soon. And as always, I will talk to you guys later.